Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for November 2023. I want to say happy birthday, first of all, to Scorpio sun out there. One would be my daughter, who's on the 29th of October. My brother Sean, November 6th. So happy birthday. This is going to be for Scorpio sun, moon, or rising. Some of you, many of you are just intuitively guided to certain readings now. And I thank you for paying attention to your intuition. I just feel like it can never steer you wrong. You could have planets in the sign of Scorpio, or you may be in love with the Scorpio. So whatever brought you, welcome. If you don't know if you have Scorpio in your chart, but you feel guided to this reading, just know that there's probably going to be a message in here, if not, not the whole story. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to use three different decks, our Mother Mary Oracle. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to clarify, and I'm bringing an oldie but goodie back. I believe they're called the Universal Tarot. It's interesting because, like with some of my decks, I use them for a while, and then I'm like, I feel like I need something new. Matter of fact, I've been in the market for new. Though I'm creating my own at the same time. So if you can recommend, I love intuitive decks. This is a little different, than what I normally choose, but I feel like the stories have been coming out of it, especially for October, were just fantastic. So I'm going to stay with them. So this is going to be your main spread, but we're going to start with Mother Mary and get our words of wisdom. I am going to bring the lid down a little bit, and let's go ahead and begin. Most of you know I pre-shuffle my cards before we even begin. That's where I'm just kind of meditating on your energy. I feel like Scorpio, you've had it. I feel like you've been dealing with some kind of stressful type energy for a little while. And I'm hoping that this is about to change. So at least I'm getting that feeling like that what's the energy? Like difficult, stressful, um, you know, like one step forward, two steps back type of energy. So I'm hoping and I feel like there's going to be a change, but let's go ahead and begin. All right. Well, that didn't take long at all. Actually, we're going to read it from the book at the end, but what do we have? Self respect. Self respect. I honor and love myself through my healthful actions. Self respect. Okay. Again, we'll read that from the book at the end. It's just where I'm telling you it's most profound. All right, let's go ahead and bring in the Universal Tarot. And excuse me if I'm giving it the wrong name. Okay, that was a good shuffle. Let's give him a cut. Can't believe I'm saying November, but here we are. All right, let's go ahead and begin. We start with the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. And then we have the Moon. The Moon, card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. But the Moon can certainly talk about uncertainties, right? I can only see my future as far as the moonlight allows me to see, but sometimes that's just the way it's meant to be. It's like we can't really predict the destination until you begin the journey. This is also very dreamy type energy. I like that it's connected to the Three of Pentacles because I feel like as it relates to like your money, excuse me, or what you do in the world, it feels like, your uniqueness is a very important part of it. And I want to specify that even if, thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of people do what you do, no one does it quite like you. This is really about being the missing piece of the puzzle and being, remembering to be your unique self and no excuses for that. Some of you may have a question if you're on the right path regarding like your creativity or how you make your money. Well, hello, Knight of Pentacles, my favorite card. Um, I kind of love this because I feel like, first of all, that energy that I was feeling in the beginning where it's been heavy. That's probably the energy that I'm really thinking about is or feeling is heaviness. I feel like the Knight of Pentacles is the is a sign that things are going to start changing. Knight of Pentacles talks about bringing in a pentacle into your physical world. This pentacle is meant to enhance your world, to expand your world. It comes at the right time. For some of you, I feel like it's believing in yourself, believing in, like not comparing yourself to others and trusting your unique path. Even if you don't know where it's going to lead, I feel like this is about trusting. The Knight of Pentacles to me is like a guardian angel energy. And again, it comes at the right time, not before, not after. So this knight is waiting patiently. It is a card of patience. But I feel like maybe it's waiting for some of you to take a step forward or even know that what you're doing, that you're meant to do. And then we have the Strength card of Leo. I feel like Leo always shows up in your reading. And I feel like one of the reasons why is I do feel like, many of you know my son has crossed over, but I feel like he is, my daughter's guardian angel. But let's talk about the Strength card, though. Excuse me. Strength card being married by this Three of Pentacles. So I feel like there's something within yourself that maybe you're telling yourself that you're not good enough, but everything is saying, but you are good enough. But these are internal battles. Like this is something I have to figure out myself. Um, I'm noticing the eight above her head, which to me is a sign of infinity, as above, so below. I feel like, this may just say, ask yourself a question. Is there anything like within yourself that may be holding yourself back? Because I do feel like you have to find the balance within the Strength card. That's what it's calling for. It's a reminder to yourself that, you're both light and dark. You're both masculine and feminine. Knowing the difference between good and bad and trusting in that, right? If something is bad, something is bad. If something is good, something is good. This night is coming in no matter what. But again, it comes in at the right time. So it does definitely feel like a helping hand. But I do feel like it's asking, a favor from you. And I feel like that favor is for you to recognize, your uniqueness to the world, and I feel like for some of you, it's also saying, don't try to plan like, where is this all going to end up? Instead, take it day by day, moment by moment. Um, because I feel like as you do that, first of all, Three of Pentacles really speaks about your uniqueness, yes. But it also speaks about other people recognizing that uniqueness within you. And I feel like that is probably like I'm doing the box. Like that may be where if I was going to say issue lies, I feel like that's where it lies. Self-respect may also be part of that. I honor and love myself through my healthful actions. Because the strength card really wants you to find that inner balance. I feel like it's our inner demons, and sometimes that can be our thought system. Sometimes it could mean that, because I do feel like you've been dealing with heavy energy, let's just say, how am I dealing with that? Am I dealing with it? All right, well, let's keep going. We have another knight, Knight of Wands. So this is a fast moving knight. This knight is like a rush, it comes in like a rush of energy, a rush of passion, a rush of desire. It's coming under the Three of Pentacles, so I feel like it's inspiration, and I feel like you can definitely put this inspiration to use. It's like, ideas that come to me just out of the blue. But then we have the Four of Cups, which to me makes perfect sense because I'm getting this feeling of like a little uncertainty with what I do in the world or who I am in the world, who I am to specific people, just all of that. So the Four of Cups talks about discontentment and boredom in one's life. Um, so the threat here is doing nothing about something. Now, if you look at the cups here, this person is being handed a cup. Not looking at it though. Just realize that person's head is down with the moon above it. It's interesting that this person's sitting by a tree. And to me, that is wisdom. Wisdom of your ancestors, of your guides, of you, your higher self. So I feel like you feel a little stuck. But I feel like one of the reasons why you might feel stuck is maybe you want to know more, like if I put effort into this, is it going to turn out? How is it going to turn out? And I get this feeling like it's not about the destiny, it's all about the journey. And there is free will. So your free will is going to be a big part of that. And the Four of Cups, not really doing anything, right? Here is this cup being offered. Here's the Knight of Pentacles. Here's the Knight of Wands. I mean, it'd be interesting we get the Knight of Cups also. I feel like there's this need for you to trust within yourself and then trust within the process. All right, let's keep going. We have the Six of Swords. Okay, I like that. I don't like the energy that came before it, which is the Five of Swords, but it is pointing out what's toxic to you, what's been holding you back or holding you down. Um, and it is toxic energy. Now, it can be from other people, of course, like other people telling you, like, you're not good enough or what have you. I feel like there's a real need for you to believe in yourself, no matter what anybody else is saying. So, because I feel like the Six of Swords is also talking about your thought system. And this Knight of Pentacles is waiting. Because remember, this Knight of Pentacles comes at the right time. And we can't make it come, well, I shouldn't, I keep saying we can't make it come before it's time, which is true. But I feel like sometimes the night is waiting on us. And I feel like I can see what it's waiting on. So it's just looking at what has become toxic to me. Who has become toxic to me? Someone's become toxic to me. Do I want to keep them in my life? This person is moving away from the toxicity. And once they move away from that toxicity, Here is this knight that wants to enter. You can change your life, and sometimes it's just beginning with one little step. Like taking one little step can eventually change your whole life. And I mean that in a very good way. All right, we have Justice. I don't know why it took me so long to realize who that was. Justice. Carta Libra. Um, I feel like it's talking about cutting a tie, so. And, it can represent divorce, of course. It can represent the law. Some of you may have been in some type of law battles, and I feel like if that's the case, you're going to win the case. But remember, justice is about what's fair and just. So as long as I'm being fair with what I'm asking, I feel like the world's going to be fair with me also. This can also speak about cutting ties. Sometimes they're karmic ties. And if that's the case, cutting karmic ties means that there was a karmic lesson. And then it feels like when you cut those ties, the scales rebalance themselves. All right, well, we have the Tower. And then we have the Ten of Swords. All right, I feel like this is where your thought process is at right now. So, Tower, listen, it probably happened. It's probably something that, the Tower disrupts our life. But just for a moment, but it does disrupt our life. And then you have the Ten of Swords following that. For some of you, I feel like you need to look to see if there's a repeat pattern in your life. Like, you keep taking these swords over and over again. But then, because it's coming under the Four of Cups, but then I do nothing about it. And then I get another dagger and I do nothing about it. And then I get another dagger. So it's a repeat pattern. And I kind of love that Justice is out here now because I feel for some of you, it's like it's awakening up time. It's awakening up period. You're being like the blindfolds are coming off. Because the Six of Swords is here, I feel like you already know what the tower represents. And I don't feel like this is talking about a future tower unless I keep repeating a certain pattern. Because I feel like if I keep repeating a certain pattern, then it's just going to keep leading me back to the Ten of Swords. For some of you, it's almost like that energy of like, I give up. I give up. But you got to find your strength. Like, don't give up on yourself. Even if everybody else has, do not give up on yourself. We have the Two of Pentacles. Interesting because it's mirroring the Knight of Pentacles right now. And again, we know this night's going to show. But again, in the right time. Well, here it does. It shows. And it's showing because you did look at what's toxic. Or you are going to be looking at what's become toxic to you. You are going to be looking at these repeat patterns. So the Knight is like, okay, so now I'm ready to come in. But then it does put the ball in your court. Like, what am I going to do with this pentacle? Am I going to nurture it, water it, and watch it grow? Watch it turn into a beautiful garden? Or am I going to ignore it and just let it die? The ball's in your court. We have the High Priestess. This is your intuition. The way I look at our intuition is it's our GPS for this lifetime. It's that first instinct. and trust it. Trust it above everything else. Especially if you keep finding yourself again in a repeat pattern. It's interesting because it's coming next to the Two of Pentacles. Excuse me, where the ball's like in your court, right? And the Two of Pentacles, they call it the juggler's card. Like, oh, I got a lot of balls up in the air. Can I even fit this in my world? But I feel like this is more about using your logical mind. Like, how can I take this ace and really create a beautiful garden for myself? High Priestess, it's like, don't second guess this ace. Don't second guess it. And don't second guess if you are in a repeat pattern. Like, if you can figure that out, and then you can end that pattern. And again, for some of you, it's karmic lessons. But listen, once you learn a karmic lesson, you learn it for eternity. And I feel like you learn it for those who follow. Like our children, like our grandchildren, our great grandchildren, and so on and so forth. Five wands on the bottom of the deck. That's kind of the heaviness. This is really a battling type energy. But there's really no victor in this energy. I feel like to be the victor in this energy, I have to be the one who walks away. I have to be the one who says, I don't need your validation. I don't need you to tell me what's right and what's wrong. I already know. This five is change. A lot of ego in this energy. Everybody wants it their way. But it can't be everybody's way. Look at that. The Ace of Pentacles underneath that. And the Hierophant underneath that. Interesting. Okay. I feel like the Five of Wands is really explaining the whole reading, right? Because again, sometimes I got to know what I'm fighting for, and some fights are not worth it. Because what do? They may lead me right back to where I began again, right back into the same old, same old. And the High Priestess mirroring, the Tower is saying no. All right, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. By the way, I want to give a shout out to my members also. Um, my plan was to go live tonight at around 6:30. And I have a few Scorpio members, but I haven't heard back from a whole lot of people. So if you catch this reading, though I have a feeling I'm not going to put it out tonight. Anyways, if I decide to, and you catch this reading, just let me know if you can be there. Okay. All right. Start at the beginning, but we're reading it as a whole. So we're looking at that Three of Pentacles. Under that Three of Pentacles is the Knight of Wands. Again, it's like a rush of, can be even information, like helping you to expand your pentacles, your creative venue, whatever it is you're doing in that energy. Look at that, the Eight of Wands, fast-moving energy. So you have fast-moving energy under the Three of Pentacles and now coming right over the Three of Pentacles. This is also the energy of what I think about, I bring about, or another way of putting it is, it's the vibration that I'm putting out to the universe. And the universe isn't deciphering whether, did she really mean to put that out, that vibration, or is it just because she's in a bad place? No, the universe has to match that vibration. That's the law of attraction. So I feel like, first and foremost is believing in yourself. And then, like telling the universe that. 8, new beginning. 5 cups. 5 of cups over the moon. Let's talk about the 5 of cups for a second, because it's mirroring the 10 of swords. Excuse me. That's my chair. Um, the Five of Cups is, first of all, it's five. So it wants you to look at it and potentially make a change. Five of Cups is where I'm looking at all that I have lost, where my mind goes. Like, why are these cups knocked over? And I kind of get stuck in that energy. So the Five of Cups wants you to, and maybe it's because it's coming over the moon. Of course, for some of you, it can be a Pisces or a Cancer. But I feel more it's like just a sense of uncertainty. And I feel like if this is someone who is keeping you in that energy of uncertainty, that's your answer. You know what I mean? That's your answer because I just feel like you deserve love and you deserve the best of love. And in the Five of Cups, when this person or when you change your focus, there's two cups that have yet to be discovered. They're behind this person. And I feel like I can only recognize those cups once my focus has changed. Look at this, the Nine of Pentacles. Wow. Coming over the Knight of Pentacles, by the way. Successful self-employment. Doesn't have to be, doesn't have to be self-employment, but I feel like as it relates to your money sector, your career, your creativity, all that you want to build in the world, this feels like the night is giving you the way. It's again, I feel like with the moon behind it, it's like I have to be comfortable in the uncomfortableness of not knowing exactly where something may lead, right? But the Nine of Pentacles is someone who's putting the work in. Like this isn't magic. The success doesn't happen just because. It's because I'm willing to put my focus there. For some of you, I feel like, if there's someone you miss, or if there is someone who keeps putting you in like this repeat pattern that is not good for you, a good thing, a lot of people are like, well, how do you get over love? How do you get over, missing someone? I feel like the answer is like, how do I want to say this? Like, I got to change my focus. And I feel a lot of times like when we put our energy into our creative house, it doesn't mean that it naturally makes me get over someone, but it's like it's retraining my mind, so to speak. Interesting. It's like a little birdie told her what to do. Like a little birdie flew up, who I feel like is the Knight of Pentacles, and is giving you confirmation. Look at that, the Knight of Pentacles now, right over the Strength card. Interesting. Knight of Pentacles coming in, Knight of Pentacles going out. It's like this knight. It's like a double blessing. Hmm. Man, I feel like, first of all, if you put in the effort, I feel like your money sector, your creative sector, I feel like they're going to be on fire. I feel like you're receiving a lot of help from above. I say above, but I feel like, really they're right beside you. I feel like you're receiving epiphanies. And these epiphanies, if you follow them, I feel like they're going to create success for yourself. The Nine of Pentacles is really a very independent energy. It's where I don't need anyone else to take care of me financially. I can do it myself. But I got to believe that. I got to trust that. I got to accept these blessings as they come in. And again, they're not coming in for nothing. They're coming in because you're saying, yeah, I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to take these epiphanies and, create from them. Knight of Pentacles is mirroring this Eight of Wands. So, again, the Knight of Pentacles speaks of patience, but I feel like this is moving this night very quickly. So, the one thing I want to say is don't disregard some of the heavier messages because it's getting through that energy that I feel like that brings in these nights to begin with, right? Cutting ties to what's not serving me, learning to trust within myself, my uniqueness, understanding that other people will look up to you, will find you. Like I often feel it's like soulmate type energy. And I'm not speaking of love, though I'm not going to rule that out. But I feel like it's, other people admiring what it is you do. Um, again, Three of Pentacles, you are the missing piece of the puzzle. You got to know that, believe that. Sometimes when we're lost, we feel thrown down into this life like, what the heck? Like, I was just thrown down here. No help. But that's not true. First of all, your intuition is your GPS. Trust it, follow it. And I feel like the rest will reveal itself. But that's number one, trusting within my own intuition. If I'm discontent and bored in my own life, I need to do something about that. If I'm taking a lot of bullshit from other people or a person, and it keeps bringing me back to these tower moments, I gotta know that. I gotta see that. I can't tell you to eliminate that because that has to be your choice, right? But this Five of Cups again is where your focus is at. And then the Five of Wands over here, it's like sometimes I miss someone who down the road I'm like, what was I missing? What was I even missing? All right, let's keep going. I don't know why, I just feel so excited for you. Three of Cups, reason to celebrate. This is the energy of joy. And it can be the energy of watching your alcohol intake or anything that would leave you with not such a clear mind. And why? It's not that I'm putting down alcohol. It's because maybe I'm not, maybe I'm not clearly picking up the signals when that happens. But nonetheless, I feel like that's just a quick message. And I get that a lot in your reading. So, Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles over the Nine of Pentacles. Changing your focus, you're changing your life. Fast moving energy, mirrored by what is normally a slow moving energy, but maybe the timing is right. The Knight of Wands under that Three of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands over the Three of Pentacles. Again, a rush of energy, but it feels like something that ultimately you're going to celebrate. Two threes. It's funny, when I see two threes, I often think there's master number 33 in our reading. King of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Doesn't have to be that. We do have Libra right here. Five of Pentacles. Interesting. I feel like this King of Swords may be part of the issue. You know, it's interesting because maybe I missed this king. And again, forget about the sign. Let's talk about this person for a second. So the King of Swords is normally someone who is a good communicator, is someone who is honest, um, has integrity. But that doesn't mean that they haven't fallen from grace. I don't want to give this king a bad rap yet, but I just don't love the energy he's coming in between the Five of Cups and the Ten of Swords. And then the Five of Pentacles right next to that. Five of Pentacles, it feels like a tower. But sometimes we're giving other people that energy. Five of Pentacles is coming over the Six of Swords. So it may be you saying, enough is enough. Enough is enough is enough. Five of Pentacles, it is that feeling of like being, like feeling thrown out in the cold, like, unappreciated. Sometimes it can talk about a job loss. If that's the case, I feel like you can rebound from that. I have no doubt that you can rebound from that. But I also feel like for some of you, this may be you having these realizations and maybe moving away from the king. Maybe I'm giving the king. Let's keep going. Listen, I feel like there's also a message of taking all this hardship that you've gone through, like putting it into a pretty ball and or pretty package and then presenting it to the world. That's one way of getting it off your chest. But I also feel like it's your experiences where you're now helping others. And whether I mean to or not, I feel like others will respond to that. Because again, in the Three of Pentacles, I don't even realize that other people are like really listening or looking up to me. And I don't mean looking up to me like as a goddess type of energy. I mean, they appreciate and they see my uniqueness in this world, what I bring to the table. All right. Ace of Swords. So I feel like, whatever these knights, you have three knights, whatever they're bringing in, for some of you could start through communication. It could be epiphanies, ideas. Some of you, it's like using your voice. Maybe that's one of the lessons you've learned, like regaining your voice. Ten of Swords, I kind of lost it, right? But I kind of gave up the ability. I don't know. But I do feel like I kind of lost it. Some of you may be making an announcement that, you know what, I'm no longer going to sit here and focus on you. I'm going to focus on me. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way. I mean, I feel like that's exactly how it should be. All right. We have the Six of Pentacles over the Tower. I already know what that is. And I know some people, probably those who aren't Scorpio, are going to say, because I feel like this is the energy where you can tend to give and give and give, but you don't receive back in equal amounts. You got to know that, right? Who am I giving my energy to? And am I receiving back equally? Because you deserve that. You deserve that. Some of you, I feel like this is great energy where you're helping the underdog. You're helping someone, and it may be through your voice. Like, maybe you don't have a dime to your name, but your voice may be your ticket, your authentic self, your truth. Look at this, the Ten of Swords over the Ten of Swords. Holy crap. High Priestess again, now over the Two of Swords, right over that decision. And then the Page of Swords coming over the High Priestess. Interesting. I gotta take a second and look at this. First of all, I feel like if communication comes in, but this communication that comes in is from someone who keeps putting you back into these tower moments. Please look at that. Please. Because I feel like it doesn't have to continue. You know, I don't know. I feel so strongly about that. Like, if communication comes in from someone who just is taking me for granted, it's, I want you to end it. Like, I'm being forceful when I say that, and I don't mean that. You know what I mean? But like, it's very clearly showing that that type of energy will end right back into that Ten of Swords. Now, that may be 10 years later, but nonetheless, excuse me. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. I feel like as this Ace of Swords that's being brought to us by the Knight of Pentacles, hmm, well, I want to look at that ace a little bit more. I want to know a little bit more about that ace, mainly because it's coming over justice. So for some of you, it could have been someone you cut ties with. Do I feel like it's a good thing? I don't know. Like, I'm not really feeling that. We have the Star. This is about your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. Also a card of Aquarius, by the way. It's interesting because I feel like justice is also a very important card here because it is about finding, like, rebalancing your life. And that only begins by cutting out, what's not serving us, who keeps hurting us, who keeps putting daggers in our back, who won't get out of their ego type energy. But it's up to me to make the changes, right? Because maybe, whoever, or who, if it's one person or many people, like, it doesn't feel like it's going to change on their end. So it feels like the change has to come from you. But in the same breath, I love that the Star is now out because it does speak about a wish. And I feel like, what's the Knight of Pentacles going to bring you? A wish. All right. Well, I was just going to say, I want to look deeper with the Chariot. Beautiful. Unlimited potential. It's interesting because the Chariot and Justice are very similar, different but similar. Justice talks about, again, can be law and all that, blah blah blah. But I feel like it's just cutting out the ties because it's sitting next to the Six of Swords of toxicity, whatever that may be in your life. And then justice speaks about the balance that you found within yourself. And when you find that balance, you really found everything. Because, how far can I go with these knights bringing in these pentacles and bringing in communication and bringing in passion? Well, there's no limit. The Chariot is unlimited potential. I feel like you just got to believe yourself. We're in the year of the chariot also, and I feel like this year, as it's coming to a close, there are changes that are happening, but it's preparing you for next year, which is a universal year 8, all about new beginnings. Doesn't have to mean my whole life, right? Doesn't mean everything's changing in my life, but again, I get that feeling I change one thing and everything seems to follow. All right, we have the Knight of Wands, and then hello, Victory. So, I feel like for some of you, it's speaking about your voice. It's speaking about how you communicate. And I feel like if you do it for a living, really trusting yourself, because again, the Six of Pentacles is the energy of victory, but it's also the energy of other people looking up to you. And why are they looking up to you? Because of actions that you've taken. Like I walk the walk, I talk the talk. Did I say that right? What's following that Six of Wands? The Knight of Wands. This Knight of Wands is right here under your uniqueness, right? What you do for the world, what like, you are the missing piece of the puzzle. Maybe you're not everyone's cup of tea, but you're someone's cup of tea. And, this feels like it's relating more to like life than like, let's say, love. But I feel like it's about everything for you. Because I feel like one thing changes, other things change. Other things follow suit. Maybe my vibration, I change my vibration. I'm no longer focused on what I've lost. I'm no longer focused on those who are creating toxicity in my life or those who refuse to back down, right? They only see it their way or the highway type of energy. Well, then you're taking the highway. And I feel like when you take that highway, it's like the world seems to be opening up to you. It's like the world is now your oyster. All right, well, we'll take that ace all day long. All right, let's put that over there. What do I want to look at? Let's look at this King of Swords. Death card. Interesting. That's your major arcana. Is that telling us to end the energy with this king? Maybe. Let's put it this way. If this king has a nasty way of talking, communicates through, this may be a strong word, but I feel like hate. And it doesn't mean hate towards you, it just means that they have hate in their heart. If that's the case, then I feel like it's saying close the door to this person. Close the door to their thought system and bring yours back to the forefront. Death card speaks about endings, but there's purpose behind that. It's because there wants to be a rebirth in your life. I feel like when the death card shows, if there's a door that I close, I know that another door is going to open up. And that's what all these knights are saying to you. So, Page of Pentacles. It's a learning experience. It's interesting because it's following the death card. And when you think about the Page of Pentacles, or at least when I think about the Page of Pentacles, I feel like it's someone who's on a path of gaining knowledge through their life's experiences. Um, I'm seeing all the eyes from the peacock tail. And again, I feel like a lot of eyes on you, but I feel like there's a reason why. It is your collective wisdom. It's all that you've learned and what you'll continue to learn through this lifetime. And it's putting it to use. Page can represent the beginning. And sometimes that's all I need to know. All right, I'm going to take one more over that. Seven of Cups. Okay, so I hate to give this king a bad rap. And of course, I could be reading it wrong, but I'm going more by what I'm feeling. But the Seven of Cups would bring out that energy, which is matching right now or mirroring, let's say, the Five of Cups. So focusing on what I've lost, maybe, again, it could be communication from that person, but I don't feel like accepting that communication brings you anywhere. I feel like all it does is it repeats the past. And I feel like I hate to keep bringing up drinking, but I feel like, this can also represent the energy of like me reaching out when like I've had a few and something I normally wouldn't do if my mind was sober, but because, you know what I'm talking about. We've all done it. Almost like someone doesn't want to see you get ahead, but you're stronger than them. And that's what you've got to know. Like you can't let anybody tell you that you can't do something, that you can't be successful, that you can't have the life that you want. You have to believe that. And then you have to take action in that. And when you take the action, it's like these knights are responding. It's like, okay, well, there's a pentacle to do that, and there's a pentacle for that, right? And here's the Ace of Swords to do that. And we're going to make sure that we're keeping you inspired and passionate about what you're doing. Some of you, it's like it can be even a new path. But this path, I feel like it may just start with an epiphany. Okay, I'm looking at this king and I'm not feeling good about the king. Sorry, king. And again, it doesn't have to be an air sign. It could just be someone who's got bad communication. Someone who just seems to put dagger after dagger in your back. And, how can I stop that? I got to break that pattern. All right, I want to come up to these two knights coming over the Nine of Pentacles, which to me, like, if you're looking in your money sector, wow. All right, we have the Devil. Interesting. Card of Capricorn. The Devil can certainly cast illusions, and these illusions can feel like the truth, but they're not. The Devil can speak about temptations, like something that keeps tempting me to it. It's interesting because he's really coming under the Five of Cups. Six of Cups. Interesting. Hmm. I'm going to take one card over the Devil. Look at that. We have the Queen of Swords. No, we have the Queen and the King. You know, it's like I don't want to read Capricorn's major arcana right off the bat in a negative way. And beside it does come the Six of Cups, and that is about happy memories. But I have to tell you, I feel like this is more about your spiritual guides helping you to see something, helping you to see a block. Why? So that you can reach your full potential. And again, it's about the journey. Like, I feel like the destination will show itself eventually, but the journey is really where you're gaining this sense of independence. You're gaining so much about yourself. Take one more there. The Magician. The Manifester. There's that eight. For some of you, could certainly talk about someone of your younger years reaching out. Now, if that's the case, again, I feel like, if you have stability within yourself, then it's much easier to make a decision relating to anyone, love, life. To me, the magician coming under the Nine of Pentacles attached to both these knights, um, I just feel like, it's a reminder that you are the creator of your world. You're working hand in hand with divine, let's say, but it is the seeds that you plant that will determine your tomorrow. If I plant no seeds, well, then I have no harvest. Some of you, I feel like you're helping others deal with energy that feels like illusionary. All right, I want to take one more over the devil itself. Nine of Cups. Interesting. Nine of Cups speaks about inner harmony. I get this feeling also like just be careful. I'm not gonna put, the devil's energy down because it could certainly just represent a Capricorn, for some, especially with all these pentacles out. But I also feel like I've got to understand too, like if there's someone who, if I'm around someone and like, you know, I'm just going to say like all we do is party. Um, that's not going to serve me. There's a lot of independent type energy out on the board right now. And I want to go right in between these two nines, Three of Pentacles again. It's like the Nine of Cups is inner harmony. The Nine of Pentacles feels like outer harmony, right? Where I can take care of me. So I feel like, whether the devil is a Capricorn or just illusionary type energy that tempts me, I feel like you're like, as we move with this reading, I feel like, we're moving into the future. And I feel like as you're clearing this old energy, I feel like I trust, like I have all the trust that you're going to make the right decisions, or that you're going to follow, let's say, inspiration. I feel like it can lead you to the life that you want. All right, let's pick up this. And I feel like I want to just go across the whole board now. Two of Cups. Okay, well, that tells me you changed your focus. This means you're no longer focusing on what you've lost. And I find it interesting that, the response is those two cups. That's soulmate energy. These are two people who are looking eye to eye. They get each other. I mean, they're soul connected. All right, well, tell me more about these two. The King of Wands. So I don't feel like it's the King of Swords anymore. King of Wands. Well, why the King of Wands? First of all, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, though it doesn't have to be. This is the King of Action. This is someone who puts action behind their words. This is someone who moves according to their desires and passions. But connected to the Two of Cups, you must be part of that passion. Sometimes I'm so focused on someone that I think is supposed to be that I eliminate the opportunity that, listen, maybe there's someone else out there. All right, wait a car go over. Hello, Will. Destiny. Hmm. High Priestess right below that. Nine of Pentacles right above that. You know, it's like you're taking your love life, the things that did not work out, the people that did not work out. You're taking your experiences from your life, the things that did not work out. You're looking deeply at yourself. And I feel like it's almost like you're becoming a new you. It's interesting because the Two of Cups doesn't come out till the end. And a lot of times I feel like that's exactly how it needs to be because I feel like this sense of inner harmony and independence is very important for you. Scorpio, you love to love, right? But it doesn't mean that other people know how to love you. Well, I feel like this king does, or queen. But the soulmates sit upon your wheel, as do your creative endeavors. They also sit upon your wheel, as does your intuition. That makes sense. All right, one more roll around. We have the Five of Wands again. And then look at this. We have the Knight of Cups. So, first of all, slide this over. The Knight of Cups is mirroring the Two of Cups. Knight of Cups, another knight, by the way, speaks about an unexpected couple fulfillment. It doesn't exist within that Five of Wands unless there is someone within that Five of Wands who's like, you know what? Let's stop like always using our ego. Let's stop always having to be right. If that's the case, potentially, but this, again, this knight mirrored by the Two of Cups feels different. I love that the wheel is right in between it. But I also feel like it's saying, so are the lessons. Again, like if we can look at like the hardships and say, okay, well, what are they trying to teach me? What is it I need to learn about myself so I don't keep ending up in the Ten of Swords or having towers? First of all, is you got to know who you're giving to. And are you receiving? And if you're not, I kind of feel like that's your answer. Look at where your focus is at. Am I focusing on all that I've lost? And have I stopped believing in me? There's your answer. Am I trusting my intuition above all? There's your answer. So I feel like, those are the lessons. And then these are the blessings, deserved blessings. Dare I go below it? I feel like I can't leave a reading on a night because, again, it's coming into the reading. It is unexpected couple fulfillment. Remember, we had the Nine of Cups, so that could take you to the Ten of Cups. We have the Nine of Pentacles. That could take you to the Ten of Pentacles. We have two Knights of Pentacles here. So two different things, I feel like it's speaking of, that is coming into your physical world. Four of Swords, healing. Healing of the body, the mind, and the soul. And then don't forget the fourth sword. That's knowing ourselves. It's forgiving ourselves. but things that we may have think that we've done or may not have even done. It's forgiveness of oneself. This is about you, healing. And then the Page of Cups. Well, that's your inner child. Some of you, it is healing of your inner child. And what does that mean? I feel like once you heal the inner child, I become free and playful and, um, you know, excited about my life again. I feel like your independence and your creative mind, your creative soul, all of that feels meant to be. I feel the abundance of this reading. I also feel the hard, the hardness of this reading, but I also feel the love. So I feel it all. But with the wheel right in the middle, it's like instead of being like, woe is me, it's like, all right, well, my soul came here to learn some pretty difficult lessons, but I have the ability to learn them. And then I feel like the Knights of Pentacles automatically are like, all right, now we're going to help you. Now we're going to move you on to the next step. Because I feel like the Knight of Pentacles, why does it come at the right time? Because if it comes before you're ready, then, well, listen, you may not accept that pentacle. It may just dry up and die. But if you're in a certain mind space, I feel like you're going to take that pentacle and you're going to expand your world. And I feel like really it's giving you true sense of independence. And I'm not talking about like, which, doesn't mean that there can't be someone else in my life. No, but it's this true self, this true feeling of independence. And I feel like when you have that, you no longer like accept these swords. And then it feels like it's time for love. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it right there, guys. But I want to read self-respect. Where am I going? Self-respect. Mother Mary deeply cares for you, your welfare, and your happiness. She asks you to respect yourself enough to take good care of yourself. Remember that you're God's child and creation. By respecting yourself, you are also honoring God. The answer to your present question lies within another question. Which path would be most respectful of me and make me feel the best about myself? Self-respect increases when your actions are aligned with your true belief. This card asks you to stop doing anything that makes you feel ashamed or guilty, and to focus all your attention upon that which makes you proud to be you. Amen. Amen. I love you guys. I mean, your readings are never easy, but that's Scorpio, right? So, Scorpio is comfortable under the water as above the water. But that can get Scorpio into trouble because Scorpio can sometimes give. And I know if you're not a Scorpio and you're here and somebody's going to say, well, not my Scorpio. Listen, I was married to a Scorpio and I know what you're saying because that one didn't work out. But I also know Scorpio's heart. And, if there's someone who is, or anything that is not fair and just in your life, I feel like this is the opportunity to change that. Not just the opportunity to change that, but to thrive within it. Um, some are looking for love, but listen, maybe there's something else more important first, right? Because let's say this night was bringing in, because we do have the Knight of Cups is bringing in an unexpected couple fulfillment. It is mirrored by the Two of Cups, a soulmate. That Five of Cups is saying, change your focus. Maybe you're focused on one person. I don't know. But I feel like not only that, but I love that the Four of Swords is here. The ability to take all of that and heal it. And that makes sense with what we just read from Mother Mary. So I'm going to let that be. I love you guys so much. Um, May this all come true for you. May you be able to put the past or the hardships of the past behind you. And may this abundance start rolling into your life. I love you guys. I thank you. Um, I thank you for your donations. It's what keeps my channel alive. There's no way around it. I thank you for, welcome to anyone who's new. And thank you for those who've been with me. Um, just thank you for allowing me to read the way I read, no particular spread. It's like story time to me, you know. I hope this finds you, or let me put it another way. I hope when you listen to it, you're listening to it with your spiritual ears. Because sometimes if you're in the energy of not believing in yourself, it's hard then to make someone or to get them to believe in themselves. Use your spiritual ears, use your intuition first and foremost. Okay, I'm still talking. I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.